All right, welcome back. We continue live right here on Pittsburgh CW. It is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Bob Pompeani here taking your calls until 11 o'clock. You can call us on the Bordas and Bordas hotline, or if you prefer Twitter, it's at KDPomp. With regard to the Penguins now, so they're tied with the Rangers at 53 points, but that is just 2 behind Columbus and 3 behind New Jersey, which lost today to Philadelphia. And watch out for the Flyers now. All of a sudden, they're 1 point behind the Penguins, but they have 3 games in hand. It's a logjam once again with Washington leading the Metropolitan Division at 60 points, so they're 7 ahead of the Penguins. You go onto a big streak, you can make up ground in a hurry, the way things are cluttered right here. And at this point, once again, the Penguins find themselves in that second playoff position, second wild card, which means 8th seed, which means you take on Tampa in the first round, something that I don't think you'd like at this point. Let's go to David in Finleyville, who's first up tonight. Hey, David, how you doing?
Fine, thanks. Thanks for taking my call, Bob.
Anytime.
I want to ask your opinion about the Steelers cycle that they're in right now. What's your opinion what they must do to break this cycle when they're going into playoffs? Like, they're going in and out every year, and they can't just go past beyond the championships and divisional rounds.
Yeah, I think it starts, it starts right there with, thanks for the call, defense more than anything else. You can point to distractions, you can point to being undisciplined. To me, it's defense. They got shredded last year against New England in the AFC Championship game. Wasn't even close. And they got shredded at home against Jacksonville for the second time, which is something I did not think would happen. I really thought after losing that game in Week 5, 30-9, they'd rebound. But they had the same problems, if not more. They gave up a lot of points to that team, and that team was a team that struggled to get 10 points at home against Buffalo. And they looked terrible in the last 3 weeks of the regular season. And so, go figure, it's got to be there. They've got to figure out what to do to get more pressure on the quarterback. Now, it's a misleading stat in many ways. 56 sacks that led the NFL. They got a lot of them from their defensive line. If you're going to play 3-4, you need your linebackers to be more active. Bud Dupree was not as active as he should have been, which raises the question, do you even give him a fifth-year option? I believe they will, but I also believe he's got to earn that too. He has 14 sacks in 4 years. Not a great total if you add them all together. He's missed a lot of time with injury. But now you got to injure, Brian Shazier's situation you got to account for. You need more production from the linebackers, and you got to get better coverage in the secondary. There's no doubt about it. Safety will be a position they'll look to upgrade. But that's where it starts with me, regardless of all the other stuff that's going on. Let's go to Jack in Brownsville. Jack, welcome to the Sports Call.
Hey, Bob, thanks for taking my call. Bill Cowher, whenever he coached, he was disciplined. There was discipline in the locker room and on the field. Now you look at present day, there is no discipline in the locker room. You see with social media, and you see it on the field. There is no discipline. There's no respect for the coaching staff.
I disagree with that. I think those guys really do respect the coaching staff. I think in this different culture, social media needs to be addressed, and I think Mike Tomlin should address it. And the best way to do it is just tell them, don't go on social media. If I find that you are, you're going to be fined, or you're going to sit, or whatever. You have to have a set of parameters. And I know that sounds harsh because it is your opportunity to be yourself on your own platform. But in season, I don't think it serves anyone good to be commenting on things. Back in the day, Bill Cowher, they didn't have Twitter to worry about. They didn't have social media largely. And that also meant that, they had their own discipline problems at times. Came out with a Super Bowl video before they ever actually won a Super Bowl or got to a Super Bowl. So I think there's a lot that goes on. It's just the way it is in athletics today. You're going to have some people do some things that you don't want. And I think Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin, and a lot of these coaches set the parameters. They do. But then they find guys will do what they got to do. And you have to jump on them, and you have to discipline when that happens. And if you don't do it, it just invites the next guy to do it. And I think that's where the problem should stop. Let's go to Gordy in Munhall. What's up, Gordy?
Hey, Bob. How you doing, man?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hey, the reason for my call tonight is I want to talk a little bit about the draft needs of the Steelers. I know, you touched on it with the last caller a little bit, how defense is a pressing need.
Right.
I was thinking that, you never know when it's going to be Ben's time, right? So considering a quarterback at this juncture might not be a bad idea, particularly maybe a colored quarterback. I don't know.
Listen, when you're talking about needs, to me, they start and end with defense right now. They have enough offense to get done with what they need to get done. They have a wide receiver who's one of the best in the game. They have a quarterback who will be a Hall of Famer. They have a running back who, if he continues his pace, will be a Hall of Famer. They have offensive linemen who could be Hall of Famers. They have enough on offense to win games. They need to be more consistent, but to me, it's got to be with, number one, they got to draft a linebacker, unfortunately, because of Ryan Shazier's situation. Number two, they have to get a safety, because I don't believe that Mike Mitchell, if he is back, he's still not the player that maybe they thought he was. And if they don't bring him back, they save some money, but they're going to need someone back there. So it starts there with me, and then you go beyond that. You may need some offensive line depth. I think you can use defensive line depth. Even though they have some playmakers on the defensive line, they did give up a lot of yardage running the football. So I think there's always reason to think you need more. Let's go to Rick and Elizabeth. Hey, Rick.
Hi, Bob. How you doing tonight?
I'm well. How are you?
I just wanted to touch base. Where it starts for me is it starts at the top with Tomlin, the lack of discipline that this team shows. And it's from every angle. I can't remember when he has won a challenge, number one. His clock management in game is, it's less than average. And then, when you hear these stories that come out, about Le'Veon Bell with the walkthrough, and I understand that walkthrough just wasn't this week, that it stems, 6-7 weeks back, and letting these things go. And evidently, I guess Ben tried to address it with Tomlin, and that didn't go over too well. So I think it begins at the top, and it's got to. I don't know that it can be fixed because
it can be fixed. Everything can be fixed. They're a 13-3 football team. Although I will say this, and thanks for the call, man, because you do make some good points, and that can be and will be a problem if it's not changed. But I look back at this 13-3 season. I was talking a little bit about this today on my radio show on 93.7 The Fan. It depends on how you look at this season. Now, at the time, I think it could have been somewhat of a mirage in that even though they won games, and when they won games, a lot of them were close games, and there were big plays allowed in a lot of those big games, those wins, 13 wins. They gave up big chunks of yards. They were one of the worst offenders when it came to passes over 40 yards against and 50 yards. So you can forget about those when you win, and sometimes you do. They're not addressed. We don't talk about them because they won the game. But looking back, too many of those occurred, and so was it really a surprise that their defense let them down in that game, given what we saw throughout the course of the season? They had big-time rushing yardage against. Chicago ran all over them. You might remember that. A lot of 200-yard, 100-yard games, things of this nature. And if you do that and if you give up big plays in the passing department, sooner or later those are going to burn you in big situations, and they did. So, hey, listen, you still win, and that culture has won a lot over Mike Tomlin. And I'll never take that away from a coach. I think ultimately this is a win business. You're defined by what your record says, and they've had good records. Postseason, they've had their issues, and that is the step that needs to be taken next. Getting back with this window still open of winning a championship when you have as many good offensive players you have. We have Rick, Leslie, Mark, a whole bunch of other people coming up next right here live on Pittsburgh CW.